Hey everybody, it's James here at InHome Golf, and we're way out in Bethel, Maine today on a beautiful day, putting a simulator in this garage area right here. But I want to show you the property we're at before we get started. This beautiful home is set in the middle of a forest with no neighbors in any direction whatsoever. Now, through the birch trees here, you can see an artificial grass green across the pond from another green. The way he's got it set up is 9 pin placements with multiple tee decks around the pond, so you can actually play a par 3 9 hole course. It's a really impressive setup. Now, we do a lot of work with artificial turf, and I wanted to point out this bunker, the grass inlay around the bunker is extraordinarily well done. So I love this. Two thumbs up to the guys that built this. Here's the original design that we put together. There's obviously three garage bays here. The third one separated by a wall here and a staircase that goes up to the second floor. Now, an interesting feature of the way they built this was that the staircase that goes up is accessible from the second garage bay and the third garage bay with this wall separating in between. The original design that we had put together was to put the screen just outside of those steps so that we wouldn't have to touch them. And then, of course, this window wouldn't be affected either. But in the end, we wound up cutting the staircases out on this side. Obviously, you can still access it from the other side, and then covering this window. Now, normally we put the impact screen about a foot off of that back wall, allows for the screen to flex a little bit when you fire golf balls into it. You certainly don't want it coming in contact with anything solid. So we were able to get a good 3 feet back from this design. The room itself was 9 feet to the rafters, which is about as low as I like to go. Most people can swing a club in 9 feet. Your backswing is usually okay. The follow through for some people tends to lift as you go through. So nine is potentially a strike hazard for some people, but not everybody. So it's a little bit of hit and miss with 9 feet. But 9 feet I consider to be a minimum requirement. The width of 13 feet is a little tight. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know I like to go to 15 feet, and I consider 14 a really good minimum. So from the center line, which is where the ball goes, to the back of your backswing and follow through is a good 7 feet is excellent a level of clearance. 13 gets a little tight. So what we wound up doing with this one is we just made this strike mat wider by a foot. So 6 inches to one side and 6 inches to the other. And then you could stand a little bit closer to the mat, place the ball 6 inches over center line, still have lots of room around the ball to strike through it, and essentially making the room a little bit wider. And the technology we had here was the QED by Unicore, which has about an 18-inch field of vision, so easily accommodated with a slightly wider mat. So it worked out great. Now, with the added length in the room, we were able to move this whole thing a little bit closer. I also like to bring the strike mat to 10 feet from the screen. So here I've got it at 9. We were able to change it back to 10. That means from the center to the front, you've got somewhere between 10 and 12 feet, which just is a really good, ideal ball flight distance. Any tighter than 9 feet to the strike mat gets really close to the screen. I'm not a big fan of it. It also makes it tough for the projector to clear the person's head. When you have lots of height, that's less of an issue, but in a 9 foot ceiling, it was definitely tight. But it all worked out great because of the way we put it together. So let's take a look at the finished product. Now we're walking through the garage. You can see the staircase in the back that I referred to earlier. And then coming around the corner into the full simulator, you can see the swing optics cameras. I think that I had said earlier that he had QED, but he's got the IXO by Unicore. You can see here the touchscreen with the PC. Normally we would want to have that in a cabinet. He's going to have a big thing built for it. Now, right here, I'm going to pause for a second and take a look. This room is 13 feet wide, but we took 10 inches per side and added rough grass to give the room a little bit of a golf greeny feel. I really like the way that works out. You'll see we do that a fair bit. Swing optics camera at the back and at the side that connect with Unicore IXO for a great training system. What a cool looking space this guy's got. So when you're ready for your in-home golf simulator, please check with us online, give us a call, speak to one of our great salespeople, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.